All right, let's take another look at what the road conditions are doing around your community. We've got still that little band of freezing rain kind of sitting right there in the midsection of the southeastern counties, but also stretching between Interstates 75 and 65 where some icy, slick conditions are. A little bit more wet for areas that are at or above freezing down in our south and southeastern counties. And behind that line of freezing rain, there was a little layer of snow and sleet that was on the back end of that line. And so, yeah, snowy conditions, basically slushy at this point from all the plows that have been going through and starting to kind of break up a lot of that ice on the main thoroughfares. But the radar showing where that precipitation sits, and for the most part, just cloud coverage behind the line. Now, there is a band of snow that's kind of up in southern Indiana, southern Ohio, southwestern Ohio for sure, maybe Cincy getting some flakes, but really beyond that, it's just going to be a lot of cloud coverage. Some rain here, freezing rain or even sleet on the line where you see that pink, and that's kind of the Mountain Parkway all the way from Powell County, kind of getting out towards McGoffin. And then you've got a lot of our Martin, northern Pike County kind of sitting in that as well. Rain below that, rain continuing out towards Interstate 75, but then Pulaski County and Wayne, a little bit on the edge of Russell out that direction. Still seeing a little bit of that freezing rain falling. Not finished though. We still have to watch this batch that's kind of sitting out in western Tennessee. Eventually going to make its way north and northeast towards us. So it's another renewed shot of a little bit of freezing rain before we're all said and done with this complete system. So we're going to watch that over the course of the next few hours, kind of late morning and into the early afternoon. You see how it just kind of glances our southern counties. But after that, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, mostly cloud coverage at that point. Freezing drizzle, a few flurries still possible at this point. Not really enough to put anything down significant, but it still will just be a little bit out there for you to be concerned with, especially if you have to be out and about. But once again, bottom line, not a day you want to be on the roads. Avoid it at all costs. Just wait until at least tomorrow before you get out and about. We still have that winter storm warning for the northern bluegrass and out towards Jefferson County. We've got an ice storm warning for pretty much everyone else except for our extreme northern counties. And as we go throughout the day, a lot of this is going to start to get canceled as the system pulls out, but it will still at least be out there for a few counties saying that, yeah, that ice is still certainly possible and still going to be causing some issues out there. Here are a few of our ice reports we've had over the last several hours. Western Kentucky are getting out towards the Interstate 65 corridor. That's where that half of an inch of accumulation has been reported. But for the most part, running in that quarter of an inch for a lot of areas in our forecast area. So if you have nothing to do today, you want to get outside, maybe measure some ice and send those reports in. Best way to do it is look at a branch, especially those smaller ones. It's very easy to see the ice on that. You take the bit of ice that's the highest amount, and then you look on the other end of the branch and you see a little bit lower. You take those two numbers, you add them together, divide by 2, you get the average of the ice on that branch, and that is your ice accumulation. So it's certainly a chance to get up to that 0.2 of an inch, quarter of an inch for most areas in our area, but a lot of areas now are just going to be getting another few hundredths of an inch. So kind of winding down those precipitation rates, that's the best thing. But what's happening? What's causing this? Well, it's something called overrunning. It's basically the cold, dense air at the surface being overrun with warmer air on top. And so when that happens, you get the snow that's falling from the higher levels of the atmosphere into an area of above freezing temperatures that's above an area of freezing temperatures right there at the surface. So you have snowflakes turning into rain in that above freezing air, but then hitting surfaces that are freezing because it does not have enough time to freeze before it hits the ground. So it falls as rain. It looks like rain. The only difference is the minute it hits a surface, it freezes up. Hence the name freezing rain. So going throughout the rest of today, still all types of precipitation possible. For the most part, it's either going to be a cold rain or a freezing rain as we wrap up the day. Getting into the afternoon, cloud coverage for the most part, but staying below freezing. Tomorrow, getting up near freezing, which will help start to kind of make things a little better on the roadways out there, but still not quite getting there for a lot of areas. And then staying freezing beyond that, going all the way throughout the weekend and next week, we've got a big region of high pressure moving in that is going to keep air cold and for a long period of time. We're talking about several days below freezing. Not quite record territory for that, but still enough to where it's going to be staying pretty cold every day that you have to be out and about. So the weekend, we also have a chance for some snow to move in. Another slight chance coming in on Tuesday. But really, it's just going to be the big story of that cold. You'll want to be bundled up and you'll want to stay off the roads as much as possible with the snow falling, but also with those temperatures that will not get above freezing all the way throughout the end of next week.